I was born bald. I didn't start to get hair until I was around 2, and then when I did start getting hair, it was straight. Like really straight. There were no baby curls for me. As a little kid, I was taught to brush my hair after the shower, so that's what I always did. I would take a shower and use regular shampoo and conditioner, rinse them both out completely, brush my hair when I was out of the shower, and then let it air dry. And I always saw myself as having straight hair. In hindsight, I can see that my hair wasn't really always straight. My hair started getting a little bit poofy when I was about 6, and then it got even more poofy when I was around 12. I think probably around 12 was when it would have been wavy if I had treated it right. I know that around that age it was wavy when it was wet, but it would dry straight. By middle school, I didn't like how my hair looked poofy, and somehow I caught on that if I straightened it, it would be less poofy. So I started straightening it regularly. I didn't really know why using a flat iron on my hair would make it less poofy, I just know that it worked. I continued straightening my hair into my early 20s, and at some point in my late teens, I decided I wanted to try having my hair longer than I had ever had it before. As my hair grew out, I started noticing that it was less poofy even if I didn't straighten it. So that made me realize that the longer my hair is, the less poofy it is. So I started growing it as long as I could get it. While growing my hair really long did help make it less poofy, it started causing other problems. I started having way more tangles than I had ever had before, and I started getting a lot of frizz. And eventually the frizz got really severe, to the point where I felt like I had to put my hair up all the time. If I left my hair down, I had this like section of frizz above my head that was sometimes distracting to people. I remember a few times I noticed people were watching my frizz while they were talking to me. I started Googling for frizz solutions because I wanted to do something about this terrible frizz. I wanted to know what caused it and how to fix it. But anytime I was Googling anything about frizzy hair, I kept coming up with content that was about curly hair. And I even tried searching straight frizzy hair solutions or things like that, and nothing was coming up that was for straight hair. Everything was for curly hair. It didn't make any sense to me, and I kind of felt like Google just wasn't really working. And so I just went to the store and bought some things that said they were for frizzy hair. They didn't work. So I went back to the store and bought some other products that were said they were for frizzy hair, and those didn't really work either. So I tried a bunch of anti-frizz products, and none of them really seemed to work, and it was frustrating. At that point, I thought I kind of need customized help. So I went to a subreddit that was just about hair in general, and I posted my story about how I have this really bad frizz and I've tried all these different products and nothing's really working and I don't know what to do. Can somebody help me? And somebody said that they thought my problem was that I actually have wavy hair and that I was treating it like straight hair and that I should try the curly girl method. At first, I thought that sounded really crazy because I really thought I knew my hair was straight. There's no way my hair is wavy or curly. My hair's straight. But I did start Googling things about the curly girl method to try to get a basic understanding of what they were suggesting that I do, and I found some other stories from people where they thought their hair was straight, but it was always frizzy and poofy, and then they tried the curly girl method and like magically discovered that their hair is wavy or curly. I decided to try the curly girl method, even though I thought it was probably silly and a waste of money. But I was not talked into gel. Gel sounded gross and sticky and crunchy, and I didn't want any part of that. But I went to the store and bought a curly girl method approved shampoo and a conditioner. And I think I also bought an oil and a leave-in early on. I was hoping that those would be replacements for gel. I saw a little bit of wavy definition when using a leave-in, but it was really minimal. So it took me a while. I tried some other things, but eventually I tried gel. I bought the $2 LA Look stuff because I figured it's only $2 if it doesn't work, but I really was convinced that this is going to be sticky, it's going to feel disgusting, and I'm going to hate this, but I tried it. For the first time ever, I saw noticeable wavy definition in my hair after using gel. I also had noticeably less frizz than I had had in at least a year. I felt like I could leave my hair down. I was hooked on gel from that moment forward. At that time, I wasn't even getting a cast over all of my hair. I thought that I was getting a cast because I would have some stiff parts that I would have to crunch out, but I hadn't understood that a true gel cast would make my hair stiff all over. So I definitely wasn't using enough gel for how much hair I had at that time. After a few weeks, I realized that gel was dramatically helping to reduce my poofiness, and so I didn't need my hair super long anymore. So I got a pretty significant haircut. After that first haircut, my hair pretty much quit tangling overnight. I also started being able to get a gel cast over all of my hair because I had less hair. So I think before having my haircut, I would have had to use like half a bottle of gel to get a cast. So now I was getting a full cast, which was helping my results dramatically. After the haircut, I basically just kept experimenting with my hair using ideas I saw from other people, trying to figure out what would work for me. I tried deep conditioners, leave-in conditioners, I tried plopping, I tried micro plopping. It took me a while, but eventually I found damp styling, and that was a real game changer for me. Over the next few months, my hair started to grow out and my frizz got even less. In hindsight, I think what had happened was I actually had a ton of breakage from dry brushing my hair back when it was really tangly. I think it was sometimes snapping my hair up closer to the root. And so then I would have this frizz, but it was just all these little broken hairs standing up. And so after I quit dry brushing my hair and I cut my hair so it wasn't tangling as much, so I didn't have to really brush out those tangles, the new growth started growing in, the old breakage got a little bit longer, and it just wasn't sticking up all the time. It's now been over 4 years since I first tried the curly girl method, and I've had my core routine down for 3.5 years or better now, but I'm still learning things here and there. I don't really follow the true curly girl method, but I do still mostly avoid sulfates and silicones. And even if I didn't, I'm just always grateful for finding the curly girl method community because for me that was the first stepping stone to figuring out how to care for my wavy hair. More importantly, it's been about confidence for me. And while some of that is about the appearance, I mean, it is nice to feel like your hair looks okay and to not feel like you have to hide your hair the way that I felt like I had to hide my hair by wearing it up when it was really frizzy. I think a lot of that confidence comes from feeling like I'm working with my hair, with my natural hair, rather than fighting against it or trying to like wrangle it into submission. And I'm just working with my hair rather than trying to force it into something that it's not. And I don't know, there's just something empowering in that.